we get Premier League games in the middle of the week, and with that, another chance to win $50,000. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jason Mattis, of course, with Winning Bets. This is one of the free games that we play. It's over on the NBC Sports Predictor app. It's the Premier League Challenge where we can win $50,000 if we can correctly predict 5 Premier League games. You got to give them the right result and the correct score in those 5 games to take home that $50,000. If nobody can do it, we'll all compete for a guaranteed $1,000 prize if you get the most points, 4 points right if you get the result, 10 points right if you get the correct score right in that match. It's been a while since we've done one of these videos. Obviously, the players have been on international break for the past couple weeks. Then when they did come back, we jumped into an FA Cup weekend rather than a Premier League weekend. So because of that, it's been a few whiles. It feels good to be back in here with you guys talking some soccer. Let me also remind you guys, each and every single week, I give away $25 to the person in the Winning Bets group. Whoever has the most points of that previous match week will take my $25. So let's see who won last week. Looks like in match week 23, we had an 8-way tie with 18 points. That is really incredible. I don't think we've ever had that. So a lot of people in there, a lot of good scores right there. So what that means, when we have a tie of that amount of people, we go ahead and roll the $25 over to the next week, which will be right now. So that means this week, match week 24, will be worth $50 to somebody. And as you can see here on the screenshot, hey, I cracked the leaderboard. I got 14 points. I got one of the correct scores right. I got 2-0 win for Chelsea up over Tottenham that day. So I got 14 points and on the leaderboard. So good stuff right there. All right, so big week. Somebody can win $50. If you need to join the Winning Bets League, if you haven't joined it yet, it's in the video description. So just grab that information from the video description, compete against your fellow Winning Bet supporters, and take home $50 this week. All right, 5 games. Let's talk about them and let's jump it off. And let's kick it off here with Manchester City going on against Brentford. Look, City won the reverse fixture 1-0. They got an early, Phil Foden goal. And then City really didn't do all that much. They only got 3 shots on target. So really odd for them. Normally they get a lot of shots, a lot of shot on targets, and they really put a lot of pressure on your goal. That's not what happened in that fixture against Brentford. They were their normal good defensive side. Brentford only had 2 shots on target. They didn't do anything. Now they're going to travel to the Etihad, where you figure it's going to be even harder for Brentford and even easier for City. So while the first fixture was 1-0 and kind of a boring, kind of not a lot of action, I don't think that'll be the case here in this game with it being in Manchester City. I expect more of the similar game in terms of City domination, but I just expect more goals, to be quite frankly, because it's at home. Brentford won't be as good and City will be even better. City will also know their opponent, right? Brentford was new to the Premier League. They hadn't played Brentford ever. And it took probably the team and Guardiola, sometimes when you see somebody live, you can see them on tape all day long, but when you see them live, it's a little bit different. So yeah, same kind of game, more goals. City knows the opponent. They're at home. City will be dominant at home. Look, they've in 11 home games, they've only conceded 6 goals in 11 games, so they're going to be tough. It's definitely City clean sheet for me. I mean, just been too good at home all season long to think that they'll give up a goal here in this fixture when Brentford didn't even sniff the goal at home a few weeks ago. So definitely a clean sheet for me. It just comes down to how many goals will City get. I got them scoring 3. So give me a Manchester City 3-0. City will win 3-0. All right, next game we got here is Tottenham versus Southampton. And we look at this standings. We say 7th place Tottenham. But boy, you've got to put that in some air quotes because this is not really a 7th place team. They've got a lot of games in hand. They win those games in hand or just draw those games in hands, they'll easily move up into that top 4. So it's 7th place Tottenham per se versus 12th place Southampton. Southampton, they're 13th in away form. They've only got 2 wins in 11 games. They've got 6 losses in those 11 games. Tottenham, though, they've been scoring. At least their games have been scoring on the road. Tottenham's away fixtures average over 2.5 goals in 9 of the 11 games. Tottenham at home, they've cashed over 2.5 goals in 7 of their 10 games, including 3 of their last straight. So I think we know what we're going to get in this fixture. We're going to get some goals. I think both teams will end up finding the back of the net. It does look like Tottenham's the better team. I mean, Tottenham's got to bounce back from their first ever league defeat under Conte. It was against Chelsea, so not going to hold, a lot against them. They got their ass kicked by Chelsea in the EFL Cup. They got beat in the league. It's Chelsea. They're really good. But under Conte, the Spurs they've been really good in the league. So look for them to kind of get back to that mentality, especially at home at White Hart Lane. The reverse fixture was really weird. I don't know how much you can learn from that. It was 1-1. Saints did get an early goal. Then they picked up that first half red card. Harry Kane got that penalty late in the first half, and then there wasn't any action in the second half as the game ended 1-1. So with that red card, though, I don't know how much you can take away from it. The one thing that I did take away from it, though, in terms of watching it, was Southampton was pretty good up until that point, getting the goal, looking good, looking kind of the better side. So that's why I think they'll be able to get a goal on the road. But I think Tottenham will win. They're going to get back to their winning ways under Conte in the league. This one will be high scoring. Give me a Tottenham 3-1 win. Spurs will win 3-1. Next one brings us to Aston Villa going on against Leeds. For Leeds here, you got no Bamford, no Calvin Phillips. I think that's really good. You've kind of seen them the last few weeks, months or so. They haven't had Bamford, but Phillips, that's going to be a big miss for them. Whether they've been playing him at that CDM position, center back position, it doesn't matter. He's just a good defensive player wherever they put him. He should be playing in the midfield. But, let's just see if they have him. He's questionable coming into this game. For Villa, they've been really good at home under Gerrard. Look, they've only lost at home under Gerrard. At home, speaking, to City and Chelsea. Otherwise, they've looked really good. They actually looked good in that second half against City. Actually looked good in that second half against Chelsea, too. So, not going to hold it against them for losing them. Going to really look at their performances in those two games and said, wow, they looked pretty good getting a goal in that second half against City, not letting them get anything. So, good performances, even though they were able to lose. They've obviously added Coutinho and Digne there from Everton, but Coutinho is obviously the big one that's really going to ignite their offense and really make them, forget about Jack Grealish, and he's going to be really good. He's a full playmaker. You saw what he did on his debut against Manchester United. Really just lifted the crowd, lifted the players, and really just willed them to a 2-2 draw in that game. Leeds away, if we're looking at away form, they're 2-3-5 on the season. Villa at home is 4-2-4. Little tough to kind of read into that, though, because there's been two managers playing part in that record. It's been better under Gerrard. Goals per game, Leeds is 3.4 away. Villa's 3.3 at home, so we think there can be goals in this game as well. Give me a Villa 2-1 win. They're just better defensively, so that's why I've got Villa winning this game 2-1. But both teams will score. This will be a good game, but Villa 2-1 for me. Next one here is Wolves versus Arsenal, and how do you say low scoring? Because you need to learn how to pronounce that game for this fixture. Low scoring. Wolves under 2.5 is cashed in 16 of their 21 games, and in 7 of their 10 home games. Their games are only averaging 1.6 goals at home. The last 2 has ironically cashed both teams are scoring over 2.5. So there you go right there. You got a trend of Wolves just cashing under 2.5. Recent head-to-head says, wait, maybe we'll get some goals in this fixtures, and maybe both teams will be able to find the back of the net. Arsenal, though, I just don't feel great at the moment. I mean, 0-0 against Burnley, EFL Cup against Liverpool. Okay, not going to hold them. Not going to really hold that up against them too much, but they just don't feel all that good in the moment. Their form is kind of dipped. They kind of, they got the Aubameyang situation that they sent on to Barcelona. They're trying to find a new striker. They were unable to get the kid there from Fiorentina. So, I don't know. With Arsenal, it just doesn't feel right. Like a month ago, it felt right. Remember how they had that bad loss in August against Manchester City, and they really rebounded. They've come up the table, fighting for a top 4 place. It just feels like it just doesn't feel right for Arsenal at the moment. They've only got 1 draw in their last 10 away games, so that lets you to think that they're either going to win this game or lose it. There's not going to be a draw in this one. Again, I'm going to go, though, with really what Wolves have been doing all season long, especially what they've been doing at home in terms of just keeping games low scoring. I've got this one a 1-1 draw. You've got 6th place versus 8th place. I don't think there's a whole lot of separation in the current moment with how these two teams are playing, so I'll go ahead and say this one will be a 1-1 draw. Then the last game here is Liverpool going against Leicester. Recent head-to-head, you got 2 Leicester wins. Both of those are in the Premier League, and then you had the other one was a 4-3 thriller there in the EFL Cup. Absolute just thriller there at Anfield was that one right there. The 2 Premier League wins, they were at Leicester at both of those. This one's obviously going to be at Anfield, so a little bit different right there. Leicester and both teams are scoring over 2.5. I mean, they're number 2 in the league in terms of cashing over 2.5, so it'd be hard not to kind of look at that angle in this fixture. But to me, the recent head-to-heads are kind of messed up here because it was at Leicester most recently in terms of Leicester's 2 wins. It was at Leicester, so that'll be different. So kind of a little bit, but also Liverpool in the AFCON, right? They've had their players in the African Cup of Nations, and they didn't have those guys in that EFL Cupper. They didn't have them in that second win there with Leicester. So maybe that'll change the outcome here. They're going to get Salah back, or at least he's going to try and play coming back from Africa. I don't think you'll get Mane back, but even if you'll still get these players in the dressing room, they'll be around the team. That'll just help the team right there, getting 2 of your best strikers just back in the building. So I think this one will just play out different than what the recent head-to-heads of Leicester kind of having the upper hand, or at least really being in the games. I think Liverpool at home at Anfield is really gonna show their power here in this one. So I've got Liverpool winning this game in a clean sheet. Go ahead and give me a Liverpool 3-0 win. Liverpool 3-0, and that's how I'm going to do it this week for a chance to win $50,000 over on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Don't forget, every Thursday I'm joined by Matt here on my YouTube channel. We preview all 10 Premier League games that are upcoming in a couple of weekends. We give you leans and bets. So if you're a gambler out there and you want some bets, come check out that show every Thursday. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We do it live, so you can interact with us, ask us questions on how we think about certain games will go, and we'll gladly answer them. So 12 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday, we do Premier League breakdowns. Otherwise, guys, if you're not interested in that, just keep playing this game with us. It's a lot of fun there on the NBC Sports Predictor app. I wish you guys good luck this week, and we'll see you back here next week. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.